The title of this film is We Can't Make the Same Mistake Twice, and was created by the remarkable Alanis Ombosawin. The name of this documentary connects to the content addressed throughout as it focuses on the case field of the Child and Family Caring Society of Canada, along with the Assembly of First Nations Against Indian Affairs in Northern Development Canada. This human rights complaint was introduced in the year of 2007. It greatly emphasizes on the fact that many unjust tactics were used in the past to assimilate the often marginalized Native community. It speaks of the fact that the foster care is now replicating the residential school trauma, and therefore enhances the fact that the same unjust mistake cannot be carried out once again by the Canadian government. Within the film, the administration often argued how evidence about the residential schools would be prejudicial within the situation. It also displays and gives us a brief history of one survivor's comprehensive experience of the schools, specifically at St. Michael's Residential School. Residential schools form an embarrassing fragment in Canada's history. It is not an issue that is commonly discussed, as the circumstances inflicted a lot of distress and discomfort to Aboriginal people. Social injustices and unfair practices were carried out by the Canadian government in an attempt to assimilate young children into the Christian Euro-Canadian culture through violence. An example would include the fact that the young children would receive beatings and shacklings if they spoke their native language. This initiative was led by the strong-minded Cindy Blackstock, who is the executive director of the Caring Society. She fought to expose how vastly inferior and underfunded the family and child welfare services are toward the FNMI community, in comparison to the facilities that are easily available to other Canadian children. This film displays testimonies at various hearings and depicts the Canadian legal system as justice unfolds through hard work and perseverance. The part of the film that most affected me was the story of Jordan River Anderson, who was First Nations child from Manitoba. He possessed a rare disease at a very early stage within his life, which is why he required medical care since birth. Due to the tragic circumstances, he spent approximately 2 years in a Winnipeg hospital. Conversely, during this period, both the federal government and province of Manitoba argued over who was financially accountable for his maintenance and care after he was discharged. Before they could come to an arrangement, Jordan passed away at the age of 5 due to the fact that his condition escalated negatively rapidly. In memory of this child, the Jordan Principle was created, which today aims to ensure that children of Aboriginal descent possess public services and support that is massively available without experiencing any denials or delays linked to their status. The film achieves to demonstrate how the government, even after adopting this legislation, has avoided to recognize a single case. This film often made me feel frustrated, as I believe that the government prolonged their decision by alleging arguments that were evidently unfair. In my opinion, they should have immediately taken action to implement the full sense of the principle, especially in the case of Jeremy Beatle Meawasige from Nova Scotia. This film also made me feel outraged by the administrative approach to such a delicate human crisis. However, despite the many juridical disputes and appeals, this film ended with the tribunal verdict, which ruled in favor in 2014, which made me very content. My only question is what the government is truly achieving by depriving children on the reserves of services that they justly deserve to be provided with by the provincial government.